Hey folks, I am in Bingham Road, Addiscombe, Croydon, an area designated by the London Borough of Croydon as a local heritage area. Now there are three sections of housing that I'm going to call out that form the basis of that allocation, but I'm going to start just outside Bingham Road and call out a couple of historical features there and then tell the story of the houses. So let's get on our way. Tram there, this is the Addiscombe tram stop. Elmer's End or Beckenham that way, and Croydon and Wimbledon that way into the sun. So this area is on the local plan and it's been in each revision of that plan. I'm not quite sure where the latest one is. One was due in 2024, but I've not actually seen anything of that. But I felt it was worth coming out onto Lower Addiscombe Road and just having a general look around at some of the architecture here. This isn't a formal examination of all the businesses, shops and everything that's been and gone, but that might come in another video in the future. But these shops were, I would say, just inside the 20th century built. And the visual is very good today because we've got a nice sunny day, blue sky, some wispy cloud, and a bit of noisy traffic, but hey ho. Really nice design features on those. I'm glad that they actually considered design in those days, didn't just think of functional. The old NatWest building there in the middle of the picture. And this originally was the tram terminus here, just about where we are now, where the zebra crossing is. Trams would have come from Croydon, in the very distance there with the tall building, all along here, and this would be the terminus. We've got a clock tower in this structure on the corner here, the mock Tudor structure. But there was a very interesting article in an old newspaper, and I'm going to read it to you because it really helps to paint a picture of what it looked like here way before the development that we see today. I fancy some of those who opposed the purchase of 8 acres of the Ashburton estate must have changed their minds if they were present on Wednesday. It is a delightful piece of ground, flat though it is. It boasts some lovely elms, and there are others in the distance which I suppose will one day be sacrificed by the all-devouring builder. What 1,000 pities there was no local millionaire to present the borough with the whole of it. Of course, at present it is a little bit, quote, in the country, unquote, but in a few years it will be a priceless boon, and then we shall regret we did not make the 8 acres 16 or 24. So some regret that this area was taken over for development, but as we know, the history of the area, the coming of the railways, growth in population, there wasn't a lot we could do about it. If any of my readers want to visit it, all they have to do is go almost to the Addiscombe tram terminus. On the right, next to Ashburton Road, they will see Bingham Road, and hitherto blind thoroughfare, with Lady Ashburton's training home for servants standing on the corner. You pass up this road and under the railway bridge, and there you are. So a description from the Croydon Times, 5th of July 1905, as to what this area was all about then. It had been part of the large estate, part of the development was starting to take place, and I think they kind of knew that there was going to be a lot more taking place. So that set the scene. Let's go and explore Bingham Road. The official description: Bingham Road is located in Addiscombe. It is a fine example of the predominant original residential character of this place, which is planned estates of semi-detached houses. Numbers 11 to 49 odd and 10 to 24 even, Bingham Road, consist of 4 rows of terraced and semi-detached houses. St Mildred's Church is a contemporary building and is located to the eastern side of the Bingham Road area. The townscape is heavily affected by loss of trees and the boundary walls to some front gardens. Right, I will do the even numbers first. So 10 to 24. So large prominent gables with timber boarding and natural clay hanging tiles. Chimneys including plain rendered stacks and a feature red brick stack located centrally on the front facade of each group of 4 terraces. So we've got one there right in the middle and one a little bit further on. Continuous ground floor bays and porches. Decorative glazing including diamond leading to the front and arched 15 light leaded windows to the side of the building. We'll have a look at those. Original front doors with leaded lights and leaded side and fan lights. I did some digging to find out when these properties were sold, and they range between 1907, number 18 was June 1907, and 1909, number 14 was March 1909. So that fits in with the range that they've got on the Croydon documentation, albeit I'm calling these as a little bit later that phase. It says 1890 to 1910, but those features are really quite wonderful. I did find reference online to a burglary that took place in 1909 at number 20, so that certainly confirms that it was occupied at that time. So that's the first main section to call out. Addiscombe Recreation Ground, straight ahead into the sun. But if we have a little look on the side here, we get an idea of some of these other features that were mentioned. So I'm just going to go up the entranceway here a little bit to see those. So we've got the leaded windows there all the way up. As I say, between 1907 and 1909 these were all built. Some newer windows, but I'm sure that on the middle there that must be original. Nice to see they've still got that there. I'm going to go back on myself and just call out the different features on the odd number side. Different look to these. These are 11 to 25. Built slightly earlier, so I saw the range here about 1902 to 1904. And the features according to the Croydon documentation: timber sash windows. Some of them may be original or replaced to look like original. We'll have a look a little bit further up. Ground floor bays with roof that sail over the entrance to create a porch. So we can see that feature there, that the roofs sail over. I like that term, sail. And then we've got decorative mouldings, red brick headers and coins. Coins being the sections on the corner of the building, which I'm keen to learn about all of these proper structures. I might have to do some recaps in my videos to correct myself, but what I am still delivering is the visual. I just need to understand the technical. But these are really beautiful houses, very tall, very grand, very well looked after. And as I say, I think most of the original features have been respected and protected. There has been some window replacement, that's inevitable, energy efficiency and the like, but really quite something. Number 17, opposite with a skip, I did find one little newspaper entry where there's an announcement in 1905 that a son from the family living there had been born. So it's always nice to find these little things in the old newspapers, just to help date it, just to provide a bit of realism to the story, really. Very decorative doors on 23 and 25. I think some of these may be apartments now, you know, divided up. There might be some that are still full houses, but very, very nice row of houses along there from the early 1900s. This last block, that a very, very nice feature on the top of the gable there. So this is 27 to 49. And the mixture of sale dates between 1905 and 1908. So we've almost got the first 11 to 25 were sold first, this sold second, and then the even numbers sold last, as this was gradually developed. Because with St Mildred's Church just up here on the right being a later feature, at the end of this initial run, by about 1910 say, it would have been fields, pending the development of the housing in the other parts of the road. So it says porches with slim ionic columns, and again we're still seeing those retained, which is wonderful. Half timbered gables with ridge detail and clay finials, again all visible today. What I really like, I'll just pop over the road when the cars are gone, just to call it out a little bit nearer. We've also got porthole side lights, oriel windows and bay windows with tile hanging. So I love the portholes and I love the bay windows. This is technically post-Victorian time that they were built. I'm still seeing a Flemish Bond brick pattern there. And also we've got obviously the bay windows, but we're starting to see some different styling coming in now. Now I know I say this a lot about looking up, and yes, you will be rewarded as well here by looking up, as you would also in some other buildings, say in a town setting, but there's also benefit from seeing the detail, these ionic columns, porthole windows and the like here, or porthole side lights technically, and the leaded work, amazing. And these go all the way along to 49. There's some little variation here. There's an A been built next there, so perhaps two entrances there, two different dwellings within the one physical structure. But we're still seeing the columns, we're still seeing the side lights, we're still seeing the bays and the tile hanging. And I'm pleased that they were highlighted by the London Borough of Croydon to be afforded a degree of protection. This arts and crafts style revival maybe, but well worth formally documenting what they're all about. Very much part of our history. So Baring Road, we're in Bingham Road. When I was researching this story, I looked into the history of the naming of some of the roads, and in particular there's a connection with Baring's Bank. Now a lady got in touch with me about my Woodside Court video, asking about that connection relating to Tevan Road, but it actually relates to here. Louisa Baring was Baroness Ashburton. She was married to Bingham Baring from the Baring's Bank family. Now her daughter, Mary Florence Baring, married William Compton, Marquis of Northampton. So when you consider that we've got Ashburton Road, Ashburton Avenue, Baring Road, Compton Road, Northampton Road, and of course Bingham Road, as in Bingham Baring, it all makes sense. So there we go. Naming of roads connected to the people that would have owned the land and their families, and their mark was left for all time. So another video where I've thrown a light on a very special part of Croydon, in my opinion. The suburbs are so rich, so many more stories to tell. I'll put in the corner of the screen what I'd like you to do. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.